Back in 1999, when I first heard about Dracula 2000, I thought it sounded cool. Then I found out Vitamin C, 7 of 9, and Ruby from Summer of Sam were playing the Brides of Dracula, and I knew this would be a must-see. Dracula 2000 is a 2000 horror film from director Patrick Lussier. I was reminded of the movie when I saw the trailer for the upcoming movie Drive Angry, which Lussier also directed. For a relatively smaller film, this had a very impressive cast. Christopher Plummer, Johnny Lee Miller, Colleen Fitzpatrick, Jennifer Esposito, Omar Epps, Sean Patrick Thomas, Danny Masterson, Lachlan Monroe, Jerry Ryan, Shane West, Nathan Fillion, and last but not least, the clinch-pin of the whole movie, King of the Spartans, Gerard Butler. The movie opens in 1897 with a boat taking Dracula to London. Dracula escapes and kills everyone on board. We then cut to London in the year 2000. Abraham Van Helsing is an antiques collector and part-time Batman. His assistant Simon is delivering an ancient crossbow. Simon heads out and hits on Van Helsing's other assistant, Selina. Later that night, a group of high-tech thieves break into Van Helsing's vault. This right here is a really amazing visual.
Stand by for retinal scan.
Selina heads down into the open vault, but we find out that she's actually in on the heist. The thieves think they're there to steal money, but when they open the vault, they find a coffin. They set off the security system, and the coffin gets splattered with blood. Hey look, it's self-cleaning. The group decide to escape, and they take the coffin with them. We head over to New Orleans during Mardi Gras. Mary and her roommate Lucy are talking about these nightmares Mary keeps having. Lucy's played by Colleen Fitzpatrick, also known as Vitamin C. Before she got into pop music and acting, she was in the alternative rock group Eve's Plum. In the late 90s, she reinvented herself as the pop singer Vitamin C, where she had a much greater success. The thieves are in an airplane on their way to the Cayman Islands. The coffin opens, and we see Dracula's corpse covered in leeches. Dracula wakes up and feeds on Nightshade. Trick goes to investigate, and he gets killed. Dracula is now restored, and he kills the rest of the people on the plane.
Selina, what are you doing?
Now that he's awake, he sets his sights on finding Mary, who we find out is Van Helsing's daughter. Mary goes to confession to talk about her nightmares, and how now all of a sudden they're starting to appear when she's awake. The plane crashes in a swamp in New Orleans, and reporter Valerie Sharpe is on the scene. You gotta hand it to Jerry Ryan. She understands her audience.
You getting the crash? You getting the sunset? You getting the tits?
Dracula shows up and kills the cameraman, and makes Valerie his second bride. Van Helsing is following the trail of the coffin, and flies into New Orleans, with Simon following him. He makes his way to where the bodies of the crash were being stored. The vampires wake up, and Van Helsing and Simon fight them off. The two manage to kill some of the vampires, but Selina and Marcus escape. Van Helsing explains his backstory to Simon. Van Helsing captured Dracula 100 years ago, but was accidentally infected with his blood. No matter what he did to the body, nothing seemed to be able to kill Dracula. So Van Helsing has been using the leeches to drain Dracula's blood and keep him alive all these years to try to find a way to kill him. Mary's back at the church talking to Father David.
Or whatever it is has chosen you, then you've got to fight it. Do you understand me, Mary? You've got to fight back.
But what if I can't?
Then you'll have betrayed your faith in Christ.
Mary and Lucy are working at the Virgin Megastore. In a nice sight gag, Lucy is standing in front of a row of Vitamin C CDs. Nothing wrong with a little shameless self-promotion. Dracula heads to the Virgin Megastore to find Mary. These girls aren't acting. It's just what happens whenever Gerard Butler enters a room. Dracula runs into Lucy and she takes him back to her house to look for Mary. While he's working his magic, Lucy says this great line.
So you haven't told me your name?
I have many. But we're all so much more complicated than our names. Yes. Lucy.
I was named after the Peanuts character.
They then have some gravity-defying sex. Lucy is now the third and final bride of Dracula. Just to make sure we remember, Mary works at Virgin Megastore. Simon finds Mary, but he's attacked by Marcus. Another great line here.
Never, ever fuck with an antiques dealer.
Johnny Lee Miller said that on the set as a goof, and the director liked it so much, he put it in the movie. Simon then decapitates Marcus. Dracula finds Van Helsing. It turns out since Van Helsing has been injecting himself with Dracula's blood, Mary is now of his bloodline as well. Dracula kills Van Helsing and stuffs him in Lucy's room. Mary finds his body, and then she's attacked by the brides. That's actually not Christopher Plummer, but a model of his head. They couldn't get him back to shoot the scene, so the prop master designed this amazingly lifelike head. Dracula attacks, but Simon protects her. Mary escapes to a local cemetery, and Dracula takes her away. While going after her, Simon gets ambushed by the brides. He stakes 7 of 9 right between her 2 of 36. Selina then knocks him out. Dracula's on a roof with Mary, and he bites her so she can see who he really is. In an outstanding twist on the Dracula mythology that to my knowledge has never been done before, we find out who Dracula really is.
Judas Iscariot. The cross. The silver. All the things you came to despise.
Dracula tries to get Mary to feed on Simon, but she tricks them, kills Lucy, and stabs Dracula. Simon fights Selina, and continuing with the ongoing theme of decapitation, Mary and Dracula have their final showdown. Mary falls to the sidewalk, and Dracula releases her from her nightmares. He's then burned up in the sunlight. Mary's now immortal like her father, and along with Simon, the two of them guard the ashes of Dracula, in the hopes he'll never rise again. Although he does in the direct-to-DVD sequels, Dracula 2 Ascension and Dracula 3 Legacy. But they are, how can I put this? Shit.